And to details, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi followed up a number of government work files in the economic and development fields on Wednesday. These came during the President's meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Governor of Central Bank Hassan Abdullah, Minister of Oil and Mineral Resources Tariq al-Mulla, and Minister of Finance Muhammad Maid. The meeting came within the framework of the head of states following up of government efforts to meet citizens' needs in various sectors. It also took place within the framework of ongoing efforts to enhance government's efforts aimed at pushing forward economic growth and national income rates. Egypt received on Wednesday hundreds of injured Gaza residents, foreigners and dual nationals who streamed into Rafah border crossing after an evacuation deal reached among Egypt, Israel and Hamas. The details.
The first injured Gazans were evacuated to Egypt through the Rafah crossing on Wednesday and were being examined by medical teams who were directing them to hospitals. 40 ambulances were at the crossing to take part in the evacuation operations and transport wounded residents out of Gaza for urgent medical care in Egypt. Hundreds of foreign passport holders also to pass through the Rafah crossing. Medical sources in Sinai said a field hospital of 4 tents, each containing 20 beds and 12 medical caravans, have been set up in Sheikh Zayed, 15 kilometers from Rafah. Egypt plans to direct some patients to a permanent hospital in Sheikh Zayed, to one in the nearby town of El Arish, or further afield in the city of Ismailia, depending on the seriousness of their condition. Under the deal brokered among Egypt, Israel and Hamas, 81 injured people and an initial list of 500 foreign passport holders will be allowed out of the Gaza Strip in the coming days. The evacuation provided a rare glimmer of hope in an otherwise desolate humanitarian crisis, with 8,796 people killed in Israeli brutal attacks in Gaza. In addition, 78 trucks were in the Rafah area going through the process of checks required before they enter Gaza under an existing agreement with Israel that has allowed a trickle of aid into the enclave over the past 10 days. The temporary border opening with Egypt comes amid a flaring humanitarian crisis in Gaza, with the UN and other aid agencies have described as unprecedented. The situation in Gaza remained desperate, with food, fuel and medicine for the 2.4 million residents all running short. On the diplomatic front, U.S. President Joe Biden called for urgent mechanisms to dial down tensions and will send top diplomat Antony Blinken to the Middle East on Friday. For their part, Turkey and Iran called for a regional conference to prevent a conflagration.
Egypt condemned in the strongest terms Israel's airstrike on Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp that left hundreds of Palestinians dead or injured as a flagrant violation of international law. According to a statement by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Israeli airstrike on Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp killed 400 Palestinians, describing the strike as inhumane. Egypt called on an immediate halt to Israeli attacks and on all international parties to express their condemnation categorically without ambiguity.